Firstly, I would like to make it absolutely clear that I've made no attempt to break the law of this land, of this country. In my opinion, I've definitely not broken any of the traditional laws in this country. I've not harassed anybody. I've made no intention to harass anybody. For me to post a few political comments on a personal blog can never constitute harassment, not in a free country. For my comments to be viewed by the law to be harassment shines a light on those sinister people who manufactured that law and deliberately misinterpreted the term harassment to include comment and language. In a free country, that is not permissible. Also, the crime I've been convicted of, racially aggravated harassment, is a section of the Public Order Act that was manufactured in 1998 by the political establishment of Britain. It is a law that I believe was created as a legal device with which the political establishment can prosecute their opponents in a court of law. What we effectively have here is political correctness in law form. Anybody who isn't politically correct, who does not abide by the politically correct values and language of this regime can be prosecuted, and that's why I'm here. It's not for using the word darky, it's because of my opinions that I put hundreds of posts on my blog, and that's why I'm here. This trial's about intimidation. This is about intimidation, not just of myself, but of the general public. This is the traitor liberal left political establishment of Britain using a law manufactured by themselves to punish and intimidate those whose opinions they don't agree with. The chattering classes of London and the powerful and wicked organisations that stand behind them have created a law that they can use to criminalise a certain set of opinions and prosecute those who dare to speak those opinions. And by making an example of me today and publicising this, they hope to intimidate the general public of this country and make them afraid to speak out on issues of mass immigration, ethnic crime, the enforced multiculturalising of this country. The British people will watch this and they will be afraid to speak out in the future. And in a free country and a democracy, that is an outrage, because we rely upon the free expression of ideas and the use of language, the traditional language of this country, to express those ideas. And for a government and a system of law to make that illegal is outrageous. Just in finishing, I'm a free-born Englishman. My ancestors, my forefathers have fought and died in 2 world wars to create and support the freedoms that we have today. And it always has been an Englishman's and Englishwoman's privilege to speak out as they see fit. I'll be damned if I'm going to see those hard-won freedoms taken away from my people and myself today in the 21st century, taken away by a rogue political regime that's embarked upon a number of destructive agendas, destructive to my nation, and then who seek to use laws manufactured by themselves to prosecute and silence those who oppose their wicked programmes. I'm going to be true to the tradition of freedom of speech in this country, and I'm going to be true to the sacrifice made by those men and those women of previous generations, and I'm going to continue to speak out on issues of importance to my community and my nation, regardless of any consequence from the law. Thank you.
Your own barrister said you accepted that you crossed the line.
The line's changed. The line's changed. The line used to be incitement, the line used to be blasphemy. Somebody changed the line in 1998, now it's language, now it's comment.
Do you accept that you've acted illegally then?
Allegedly I've broken the law. The judge says I've broken the law. I've got to accept that. I don't like it, but it won't stop me speaking out in the future.
You were found guilty, of course, by a jury, ordinary men and women from the street, not any political establishment, no political party. Do you accept that ordinary people out there found your views offensive?
Well, that is their view. That is the view of...
and that you intended to offend people?
That is the view of 12 men and women. They're entitled to their view. I disagree with them. I think if we want change politics, effective democracy in this country, we need to be able to speak out vociferously and robustly to effect change. If you take that language away from me, I can't affect political change, and by God, we're not living in a free country and we're not living in a democracy. Maybe the jury couldn't really understand that fine principle. Maybe it didn't have time, maybe it wanted to go home to have its tea. But the jury has got its opinion and it's entitled to that.
Your barrister also said you could be turned into a martyr because of this. Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, no, I didn't put the complaint in against myself. I had no idea that my comments on my blog would ever resulted in this. I'm quite flattered that it has. I'm quite flattered that Joy Garner reads my blog constantly. Every day she goes on there and has a little look. I've got no doubt she picks through it and wonders what she can prosecute me on next. If that's the way this country operates, then so be it, but it won't stop me speaking out. It's too important. Our campaign here, the campaign of the BNP, my community, and my interest in the community, and my support for that community is too important. I must speak out.
Will you be more wary, though, in future what you actually say on your blog because of what's happened?
Well, I will be putting more posts up because the hits on my blog have gone through the roof. And now I know that people are reading it, I'll be putting more posts on. But I will be taking a view. I don't wish to offend ethnic minorities. I know there's decent people there and I don't wish to offend them. I will be giving thought to that because I know there's decent people in the ethnic minority communities and I don't want to offend them. So I will be thinking along those lines from now on. But it won't stop my comments at all.
Do you not think perhaps using the language like darkies, though, would offend some people in the ethnic community?
Possibly some. Possibly some. I'm offended every day. I'm offended every day. Every time I turn the TV on, I see things that offend me. But that's part of a democracy. We've got to accept that. That's part of the game. That's part of the freedom. We've got to be receptive and open to ideas that are going to offend us. That's how we affect change and that's how we interact. But what the government's saying through this law is that I can't say what I want to say on my side. That's different. This law is aimed at the right wing, it's aimed at the BNP, and it's aimed at me. You're taking my voice away from me. And you people in the media should be supporting me because I'm in court today, but it'll be you in court tomorrow. And my freedom's been taken away today. I've got 240 hours of unpaid work. It'll be your freedoms and your ability to speak out in the future. That's the way this country's going. It's about intimidation, not just of me, but of the media as well.
Would you prepare to go to prison if you reoffend in the next 12 months?
No doubt. I'm going to go to prison. Not this time, but in the future. If this regime continues moving that line and restricting the freedoms of this country, it's going to capture and bring into the criminal sphere more and more people. We see people on the internet putting posts up, simple, just off-the-cuff remarks on Twitter, on Facebook, and they're in the court. That's not a free country. That's not a free country. But if this regime continues to push those boundaries, continues to include more and more people within the criminal sphere, then more and more people are going to be down this court. But I'll tell you what, it's going to backfire on the government. It's going to backfire on this political regime because the people of this country believe in freedoms of speech. They understand the importance of freedoms of speech, and there's the reaction. And it starts here today in Stoke-on-Trent because I'm a free-born Englishman and I've just been speaking my mind and I haven't harassed anybody and I'm free to do that. But here I am, 240 hours of unpaid works. I'll do my time, do me hours, and then but I'll come back. And I'm leafleting tomorrow. And anybody who wants to go leafleting in Stoke-on-Trent, putting out BNP leaflets, putting out leaflets with ideas on and comments and views, and offering a political solution to what's going on in this country, you're more than welcome to come with me. On that note, thank you very much. Any other questions?
Okay, we find ourselves outside Stoke Crown Court on Friday, I don't know what day it is, at 27th, 28th?
28th today.
28th, okay. You've had a good turnout to see the Labour Party's attempt to lock you up, Mike, fail dismally. They had a good go at trying to lock you up. And you've had an excellent speech to the media. How much of it they'll show, I do not know. But what are your thoughts of this morning?
I'm happy to walk out of the court, to be honest. So I thought they were going to put me away for a few months, but I'm happy about that. I'm very pleased with the legal advice I've got.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate these people coming here today. But at the end of the day, it's people like us people standing here. We've got to stand up for freedom.
Yeah.
And I'm quite happy to do it. I'm not bowed or I'm not retreating, I'm not apologising,
Yeah.
I'm not taking a step back away from my position. I know I'm right, I know we're right.
Well, we all know, don't we? That's the thing. We know that we're right. I mean,
so nothing that these people do is going to
Yeah.
stop me continuing speaking out and continue doing
Yeah.
the work that I do. So it's just another day at the office. It's business as usual, and this is life on the front line. of politics in this country.
Yeah.
This is the sort of harassment and this sort of intimidation that we can expect in the future. It's not good. It's not good, Simon.
But we can take it though, can't we? That's what you're saying. We can take this level of abuse, and as a certain gentleman said when telling the truth. What was it? What was the phrase now? It was when we live in an age of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. And we're not quite in 1984, but 2012, that's just the way it is, isn't it?
Well, now you raise it, that's where we are. This is thought crime.
Yeah.
I mean, my crime is speaking out against this regime and actually putting posts up on my blog. And they were attack posts, not particularly attacking ethnic minorities, which I've been convicted of here today, but it was aimed at the regime because they're the people who are really responsible for what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's really sinister that we've got people who are watching our blogs very, very closely, looking for thought crimes and political crimes which have been convicted today. But we must endure. We are part of the tradition that is, we are the same men and women who fought in the First World War, the Second World War, a dozen more before that, to preserve and keep the freedoms and build this realm into what it is. And you know what? We will endure. We're tough people, we're clever people, we're resilient people, and we've got the faith. And you know what? So what? We're here today. I've got a bit of a sentence. Carries on. Yeah.
Well, I think, you know, from what we've heard, I mean, we're all very proud of you, Mike, to be honest. You've stood up to this really, really well. You're not going to break. We're not going to break. These people have got a very vicious agenda against us. But in the end, these things get found out. And I wouldn't like, I mean, if somebody gave me a choice to be on their side or our side, I'd rather be on our side, wouldn't you?
Well, we are the first of something is to come. We're not the last of something that is to pass. We're the beginning of the British reaction to what's going on in this country. So the future is full of politics, it's full of hope. This regime hopes and wishes us to go away and dry up and die and blow away. Ain't going to happen. We're the future, we're the first of the few, the first of the many, and I see the future for us as being extremely bright. And that's why this regime hopes to intimidate us and silence us a little bit with these court actions, but it won't work.
It won't. It won't.
It won't.
Okay, Simon Darby for bnptv outside Stoke Crown Court on a Friday afternoon.